Hey guys, it is the Eye Bleeder brothers here. I'm Fat Eye Bleeder, and this is Medium Eye Bleeder. Yeah, leader of the Belly Button Brigade of the Two Short Shirts. Elbow of Alacrity.
Unite! Oh, we did this on the wrong side, so we're going to accidentally kiss each other.
And bump the mic. We're hankering for nails, cousins, and we're here today with another Room of Moolok. We're going to call this...
Top notch, that thing that you have.
Gotta do it. You all are great. So, we are Tim and James with the channel Tabletop Terrors, and we have done Channel Invasion with Hankrin' for Nail. He made a video of one of ours.
On his channel, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, and we are doing one of his. So we're going to do a room and check out... he did an awesome splat book roulette from our channel. This is the thing, is that we spent a lot of time and money investing in making this look right. These are real tattoos that have we had them tattoo on the Halloween store labels.
We also only own one shirt in common. I don't know how many people can actually say that they own anything.
Twinning!
Hopefully he likes Dragon.
So, what we're going to try to do today is a Room of Moolok. Now...
What's a Room of Moolok?
Well, if you watch Dungeons and Dragons, you know that he does rooms that you can run with relative ease that have a threat, a timer, and a treat.
And I'm not going to try to say those. I am actually going to try to say those a lot during this video.
Threat, time, a treat. Treat, time, a threat. First, we're going to bust open these Eye Bleeder energy drinks.
Rockstar Keystone Light here.
Yeah, this is the Natty Ice B Vitamin Taurine blend. We should have cheersed. We didn't.
Oh, we didn't.
So, we want to continue to do the Rooms of Moolok. Now, as you can see, we have also invested a lot in terrain. We took out a small loan for this. This is from the Westbrook Map Company. I'm just kidding. This is a poster board from Walmart, and we got some Sharpies, and so we're going to draw our board on the fly.
We're going to draw our room.
We're going to draw our room on the
board
fly.
On the fly.
So, what we're going to do is... we've come up with a Room of Moolok, but we're really going to improv this and sort of draw it live and kind of show you what we're thinking. And so, what do you want to start with? Like the room shape?
So I think first we need to say where they are. There have been a few of these videos so far, and we are making a continuation of that. So we have our intrepid heroes, potentially.
Totally.
That have come through 2 rooms already.
Yes. And so in the first room, they started off kind of chained, shackled, and these sort of machinations of zombies like lumbering toward them. No gear. They kind of had to get out of that. The next room, there was this machine pumping out gelatinous cubes. And potentially you gave your players a little pet gelatinous cube, which can come into play here. What I want to do is talk through with you kind of the room design that we were thinking of. I was thinking... I just keep imagining like metal grates, like rusted, like Silent Hill grates over maybe like dual streams of just muck. Maybe it's green, maybe it's glowing, maybe Moolok.
Caustic muck.
Caustic muck. You want to start with an overall room shape?
Yeah. I'm saying that Sharpie's already dying.
I know, dude. Uh-oh. All right, so the room
Symmetry!
shape. Hey,
no, it's good. This is a pantry.
There you go.
This is the treat pantry.
This is the treat pantry. So, in a Dungeons and Dragons, Drunkens and Dragons room, like we said, there's always the threat, the treat, and the timer. I like the idea that the timer in this one is sort of this machine.
Very thick walls.
Super thick walls.
Except for right here where it gets really thin.
It's real thin. You know what, though? The contractor just was trying to save a little money, put it in his back pocket. And that's what happens when you outsource your evil lair design to non-union people. So here's what I'm thinking. For the timer, I want there to be this huge, sort of beastie, yuggly thing being assembled by this sort of arcane machine. Awesome. So it's going to be this can we make it red?
Yeah, draw where that goes. I'm
going to do it right across you.
Do it.
I want it to be like this big circle pit right here.
I'm going to draw a tattoo on your arm.
Okay. Imagine like the cyber demon from Doom, or this sort of big technological hodgepodge of like
human and
like beast and in 6 rounds.
The beast
And then the players will have to fight that, and it's probably going to be a TPK. So the players have to stop the machine from actually building this creature.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the timer.
You're going to draw anything in here?
No, draw a beast man. Draw a dude.
No, 6 rounds.
All right.
Pretend to know what I'm doing. 6 rounds, baby.
So, the threat. I love the idea of like ultimate constant spawn.
Okay, yeah.
So what do you want to do?
So these enemies are sort of made, right? I would say they're made like out of human remains and some of Moolok's other things. There are other
from
smaller...
the secret pantry.
From the secret...
Extra tasty, crispy, special recipe, Moolok's Marauders.
So there are maybe, say, 4 machines that are basically taking bits of human remains and spitting out these weird, like, golems with legs for arms and...
Perfect. Love it.
Things.
And it's fusing them to, like, hunks of junk and bent, melted armor. It's just this machine.
They don't have weapons. They're just made of
and it's like
terrible
they've got
things and they hit
totally like mace hands, and like you could have one that has like 2 swords for a head, stuff like that. Crazy stuff.
But all of these things have 6 hit points.
Well, they do a D6 damage, 12 hit points.
Drew the wrong thing. D6 damage.
We'll do a D6 damage flat, and they all have 12 hit points. HP. Now, as you've seen in past Dungeons and Dragons videos, that's all that matters. It's just that simple. You don't have to go to the book. What page? What are you talking about?
Monster manual, this, that. Nope. Just describe these ridiculous golems with swords coming out of their bums. And they have... maybe that guy has 11 HP. But other than that, they're all the same 12 HP. Where are the adventurers coming from?
I like to think they're coming from
a door
over here. Yeah. They're coming from over here, like right in the middle.
So this is... Oh.
He's going to build a set. I didn't tell you guys this. Hankern already agreed to build
He's going to mass produce them. He's going to send them out to all of our viewers. None of this is true.
Nope.
Except for all of the stuff on here.
Yep. So I'm thinking, all right, so as far as the machines go...
Try it, man.
I like the idea.
You can make them purple if you want, but red is where that...
Dude, I'm thinking like... Here. And here.
Awesome, all right. So it's
just
reasonable
like
to expect that
these
behind these
out.
walls, they're just machines.
Yeah,
these guys are walking
and
out.
just pumping them out.
These are going to keep spitting people out. I would say, we didn't really talk about this. Maybe there's 2 to start in the room, and
just
then
kind of like...
every round, 1 comes out of one of them. So it's not like overwhelming, like 4 are coming out each time.
So 1 enemy is added each round.
But you start with 2 so that there's still some, threat at the very beginning. It's up to you where they come out of.
Let's do. Okay, look. So this is a 1. This is a 2. This is a 3.
This is for advanced.
4.
It doesn't have to.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do this, but I would roll so that it's fair to the players. It's like if I roll, boom, that's a 2. It's coming out of there. And the reason why I would make it random is because that way I'm not pumping enemies right where they are.
And here's the thing.
Tell me the thing.
The treat. We talked about this. So this is unclear by our very pristine drawing, but we decided that there would be sort of a box of tools somewhere. This is a workshop. I mean, this machine that is building this arcane enemy, or using arcane energy to build this very non-arcane enemy, needs to be serviced. So there's a box of tools. Where's the box of tools?
I think...
It's brown.
No, well, yeah, that's brown. This is like super gold.
Yeah,
this is some sort
brown.
of like
Box
gold.
of tools is brown.
Cool. So
maybe there's a couple. Maybe there's like crates.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe like if there's a couple more pillars over here,
there would be.
You would make it so that the treat is a little further toward some of the danger, so they can't get it right out of the gate.
They don't
want to make
walk
them
in
work for it. Here's the thing: these players just came from 2 rooms, and as we heard in Hankerin's first video where he mentioned the 3 encounters. Part of the key to this is the progression, letting them feel like, oh, a pair of boots is important. And, oh, a helmet is important. So these tools are essentially, they can absolutely be the first weapons that these players really wield.
Yeah.
Like, think a sledgehammer.
It's a really big spanner was something you mentioned.
Yeah, like a big wrench. But that can be the first thing that these players actually wield, depending on how some of the other rooms went. This can be where they're like, okay. You can also let them find work gloves, work boots in some of these things like that.
Like you said, it doesn't necessarily have to be weapons because they don't have anything. I mean, they're basically in rags. Now, the other important thing is it could be easy to sort of get
bogged down
at these weapons. So what do you think? If they find a spanner, it does a D6, and if they find a sledgehammer, it does a D8.
Sure. So the treat is sort of the fact that they get to wield weapons at this point. But I think giving them boxes of tools that they can use to help them shut down this machine or turn off the auto spawners would be kind of cool.
Like if they were able to, like if you look in there, you can see that there's gears. I wouldn't say necessarily there's a lever, but it's like, hey, there's gears. If you shove something strong enough in there, you can slow it down or stop.
Exactly.
Now here's the beauty, and I think this is what you were getting at of these being random. If 4 is broken, and you roll a 4, nothing happens.
Exactly.
It just spits out some smoke and it doesn't work anymore. It's
Dude,
broken.
I love it. I like the idea that the floor is still this grate, and underneath it is this sort of... I kind of like the idea that this whole floor is like this crazy grate.
I'm not going to draw that because it'd be
No, but over like these acrid sort of flow.
Okay.
Like this is the waste center. It flows underneath here. So it's all these metal grates, and steam is rising, right? And it's just this real atmospheric sort of... You can even make it like the room is glowing red or green or whatever color you want. But it's just this atmospheric sort of bubbling, roiling, and they're maybe, 15 feet, 10 or 15 feet away from this stuff. So it's not super hot, but it's enough to where sweat's going to be pouring and you're going to hear the...
Yeah, so there's these kind of not really big enough to shove a person in or to otherwise put people in, but what color is ours? Red?
Yeah.
So they're kind of raised above like this red liquid that's
Love
sort of on, they can sit like there's steam coming up.
Totally.
There's a grate here, but it would just be a bunch of lines, so I'm not going to draw that.
Exactly. And so you have the players enter the room, and immediately you have all this stuff to describe, And you can explain to them there's an enormous machine at the furthest part of the room.
And you can sort of start it out saying it's building something. And, maybe there's a foot.
Right.
And then a round passes and they're fighting and if it's frantic and they're like, okay, it looks like, basically
That's a great idea.
Slowly build the idea that, hey, it becomes clear that this creature is being built and it's probably not going to like what they're doing.
I love slowly just more is materializing. It's like,
and it also helps make it clear because you're not going to say, hey, in 6 rounds this thing's going to be alive. You're like, hey, as it's slowly being put together, they're getting the impression that, hey, we're getting closer, it's getting dangerous.
Exactly.
Now, here's the thing.
Tell me the thing.
Let's talk about the stats for this.
Sure.
There's a chance it's coming alive.
Sure.
It's a boss, right?
I think it's a boss. And I think this is where we might go a little... It's a boss. We're going to go off book a little bit.
Because you want to make it real strong. I think they still need to be able to
I think they should still be able to kill it, but I want it to be big. So the idea is, this thing's freshly built. It's just like... It's like a wee fawn. It's just like... It is doing the Bambi, where it can't quite get up. No, it
can't quite get up because one of its arms is a sword and one of its legs is a hoof.
So, I think we do the Hankrin style where we double this. Mm-hmm. So normally in I keep saying that in a Drunkards and Dragons video, the bosses do double. So they would do 2d6 damage and have 24 hit points.
Gotcha.
For me, I think to notch it up just a little bit, do that. Except this dude gets to attack twice.
With 2d6?
Yeah.
You did say TPK. Alright, so optional rule. Attacks twice.
I just think he gets to attack twice.
I guess because they have the chance to shut it down. Okay.
I want this to be like, whoa, he's alive. They can always run.
Well, and we're going to get to that in a minute. Here's the thing, because it's not an outdoor, and I want to talk to you about that in a little bit. Nope, I got a cool idea.
Outdoor. Okay.
Got a cool idea. But, what was I going to say? This thing, how do they stop it?
One of them has to just stick their face in it. It has to be a face.
Yeah, a good old-fashioned stick their face in the arcane machine.
They have to do that. Any sort of tools, thieves' tools. You could also do...
an Arcana check to see how to figure out...
Sure, something like that. Make it 2 things that have to happen simultaneously.
Okay, yeah.
So this is something that I've been a fan of for a long time. And it's that one person has to do a strength check to hold something open while the other one does a sleight of hand check to disable it. So it's going to take more than one person.
Okay.
Who's focusing on this, which is going to be tough, especially you only have 4 people, And these baddies, these smaller dudes are kind of lumbering out there.
Basically, they're going to have to spend their turn that would be sort of stemming the tide of units to do this.
Correct. So what do you think about that? Like a double check of some sort.
No, I like it. So...
I want to go off on a small tangent.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Reward player creativity. And as these dudes who are piping out the hot steamers... No, wait. That's probably not going to play right. These guys who are sliding out the hot pipes, I think is what I was trying to go for. Still, not great. So
stop saying those words.
The zombie men who are coming out of the holes. So
50%.
Portals 1, 2, 3, and 4. If the players are like, oh, this guy has 2 swords for a head, I want to jar one loose. Let them.
Yes.
This is where they can get a sword, or maybe...
And they're not great quality.
No.
This is a sword that was stamped in a human stamping machine.
Right. So it's like, and if depending on how grimdark you want to be with it, it could be like an arm with a sword blade. Anyway, the point is, reward player creativity when it comes to the stuff that's coming out of here and using the environment.
And I think in the same respect, that goes for this machine as well. If a player wants to do a check to see how, to disable it, it is a machine that somebody has to use that's potentially humanoid. So you could say, okay, well, there looks like there's a control box, or what would it be? Are there?
I think that it should be something that requires the players to split up.
So yeah,
so it's like
a thing on either side.
Yeah, like you could see, and the way that the machine's set up, you're like, oh, okay, you can see it's sort of shifting. These 2 pieces are sort of shifting. So if you can stop them from shifting, and then one of you could, disable it as it shows these sort of arcane workings. So one guy's got to hold it up while the other guy... And if they fail, they take a D4 shock damage.
They get smashed to death. Oh, take a D4 shock damage.
So D4 lightning damage is... Now again, all this is optional if you want to keep it much more simple. Just the baddies, D6 damage, and add hit points to the machine. Totally do that.
Now, if this were a video game, disabling this, or after this finishes and the boss dies, these turn off. Because you're like, all right, well, the big threat is gone, so these have turned off. Exactly. Now, there's not an outdoor. We could draw one, or...
Tell me.
The players realize they have to go through one of these.
Yep.
Sort of get to the behind-the-scenes inner workings of
Dude,
Moolok.
Yeah. We have this bronze metallic Sharpie that came in this pack that we bought. I want to use it for something cool. What can we use this bronze metallic Sharpie on?
I don't know. What is Moolok like? Really try to get to know the real Moolok.
And they're wearing, don't forget, they're wearing zombie socks and using hatchet wrenches.
I think a bonus part of this encounter is they are now getting into the behind the scenes of Moolok, and they're able to make their way to somewhere they're not supposed to be.
And so I think the final thing we should do is say, if this thing does come alive, if the cyber demon if that does come alive, you need to decide how you're going to play it, but I would play it brutally.
Very brutally.
Brutally. They're deep in the guts of Moolok's sort of lair, his fortress. This thing should just come out swinging and just... But if it starts to get a little crazy, you can make it so that it shows no...
Doesn't play favorites. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. But it's the word. It's
alliance. It shows no alliance.
Yeah, it shows no... When they say kill without...
Compromise.
No.
I know.
No, what is it? It's...
Prejudice.
Yes! My brother beat you to it. You were yelling it. It has no prejudices, so it kills whatever's left in the room.
I say, it stomps out of there, and it punches the first zombie it can find, and then lays into one of your players.
You want to do something cool, and this is surely for flavor? Instead of having it, because it'll attack anything. So it's like, and it's like...
Makes that sound.
Oh, yeah. Instead of just squashing the zombie tubers and zots, it picks them up and just goes... and adds them to it. And dude just and the zombie's like, help me. Actually, you know what you do?
There's a chair in this corner.
Okay. Max, can you make it a chair and then also a little mug of Hankerin's Ale? Anyway, guys, this has been Tim and James with Tabletop Terrors doing our version of A Room of Moolok. This has been a blast. Comment below. This is not our channel. This is Hankerin's channel. And I'd love to see the comments. What do you think? What did we mess up? What did we do right?
Who has better tattoos?
Yeah, dude.
Mine are more colorful.
Bro, your ink!
It's
your
fading.
ink is fading! you'll never see us on this channel again.
Not after this debacle.
That you can be certain of. So until next time.
May your dice roll high.
And subscribe to Hankrin for Nails. 10,000 subs.